a way to let out a lot of things, or I don't know, my anger. Yeah, or just, I don't know, it does so much for you. So so at that point, I just had to, so I lost a lot of friends because they were in sports. And then that was kind of a big turning point for my life because a lot of my friends also got into partying, and I had made a commitment to myself that I was going to keep myself away from negative influences. I mean, I went to a few parties here and there, but it was a focus of mine to stay away from drinking, to stay away from drugs, because I knew that down the road it was just going to pull me away from a positive future. And so I became really lonely. I entered high school with really not having activities that I enjoyed. I entered high school not having friends. I just kind of was that person that was around that, tried my hardest in class, and people liked me. I just didn't really have people who hung out with me. And so I just kind of felt, I don't know, kind of depressed, but not depressed, if that makes any sense. Like, I wasn't taking medicine for it, but I felt like there wasn't a huge purpose in my life. And so at that point, I decided to turn to God, but I was also mad at God, so that might not really make sense, because I was like, well, if God's supposed to be so good, then how come I can't play sports? How come I don't feel loved? How come this, and that? And I mean, I felt loved by my family, and I was very thankful for that. But, so for example, whenever I was 17, it was my little brother who made me Valentine's dinner, which when you're 17, you don't really want to spend Valentine's Day with your 7-year-old brother. I mean, it's great that I have my parents, but on Friday nights, you kind of want to be out there with your friends, not, oh, I'm chilling with my parents. But, that's what I did. And it also forced me to, well, it didn't force me to, but I decided to read the Bible, because I figured if the Bible has truth, if the Bible talks about a real God, then I'm going to discover that there's purpose for me. So that was kind of my mindset. So there are a few verses that I'm going to read to you that kind of started to make me think about things. And this is all around kind of the high school age, so I hope I'm not jumping around too much. So one focus that I always had is I always said, I trust God. And I didn't always know why or how I trusted God, but I tried to stay focused that I trust God. So I came across Hebrews 11:1, and it says, now faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance in what we do not see. So that was one thing I said, God, I have a dream to do something with sports. And I feel like at 14, it was just taken away from me. So can you bring the opportunity back in my life to do something with sports again? And I didn't know if it would be in college. I didn't know if it would be after college or really what would happen with that. But it was hard for me to really believe that because, okay, I'm not saying I want to be in the NFL. I'm just saying this is a good example. If you want to be in the NFL, you don't just wake up one day and you're in the NFL. It takes baby step by baby step at a time. It takes consistency. It takes focus. And over the years in high school, college, to grow in your skills, to grow in that sport, and you start out small and you get bigger with that. And so I was like, if I'm not playing sports in high school, how am I supposed to move to a new level with this? So it was something I tried to have faith in, that I'd get to play sports at a higher level one day, but I didn't know how. But now I realize that it's not up to me to figure out the how, that's what's up to God. It's up for me to see a vision that I have for myself in the future and trust God that